Chapter 4 of Dtrnstn Baby by Terry Peters. This chapter, we definitely focus on Amy for the most part. And I haven't said it before, but these chapters are all kind of done centered around conception of the child, I guess. And this is 8 years before conception, which is tracing, is it 8 years? Yeah, it's like Amy as Ames, though I think she's always Amy in a way. And the first sex she had with a woman as a fumbling kind of teenage boy. And that basically the only way she can get hard and all that is to imagine herself as the girl. And that gets her hard, and she basically she dissociates, and that's how she gets to be with women. But she knows instinctively that she has to be with women, both to assuage the women, but also the men in her lives. Like basically, if you don't have that to share with men, you're going to get outed. People will figure out shit on you. Talks about a time where it was a switch day at school where you had to dress up as the other person whose thing you got, and she got the name of a very full-figured girl at her thing, and wear a huge, padded bra, and it's like, why do you have to be so mean? And she's like, I wanted to apologize. She wanted to apologize to she wanted to know how it was to be her and all that stuff. But some dude came by at that exact moment and said, nailed it. And that hurt. There's basically, she smiled, but you could see the hurt there. So there was no connection. And then the other larger thing is the first guy that she had sex with, Peter, who she met on some kind of fetish site for kind of dressing in women's clothes. They hook up. He's a middle-aged, kind of balding guy. Is a night manager at a hotel, and he takes her to this fun and glamour store, I think it's called, which is, a dumpy little dive crammed with stuff. But there's a woman working there, Jen, who she only kind of realizes halfway through. It's like, oh, she's trans. And that actually really excites her. She's like, wow, I just so want to be, know about, ask you so many questions. And, there's a certain amount of desire there. And, doesn't want to admit that she's been jerking, last night, just probably jerking off to trans porn. And they actually get kind of get into it. They loosen up, they get into it. Jen's is friendly. She was just serving a customer who just a guy who just did not want to make eye contact at all. It's like, oh, there's some enthusiasm, and they actually are having a good time. It's going well. And a straight woman and her daughter walk into the store and catch them in the midst of trying stuff on. And Peter just fast walks to the change thing. Amy is just frozen there. Jen kind of just turns back into the department, the store, and Amy says oh, it was it's all the glamour had gone. Even Jen had reversed. It's all, before she couldn't tell that she was trans. Now that was the only thing that she could see, and that it disgusted her. And on the drive back, Peter's driving too fast, and he's stressing out because he's divorced, and he's worried his wife is gonna use him dressing women's clothing against him to lose visitation rights. And I have way more to lose than you. And, Amy's thinking, well, you're already a loser, so I have way more to lose than you do, kind of thing, which is, something a young person would think. But they do go back to his place, and they both have really dissociative sex. He's staring at porn on the thing. She is thinking about Jen back at this, the glamour Jen, and they come, and that's about it. And that was the first time, but it kind of clicks back. Yes, it clicks back to Amy being with Reese, and that's how it opened. Is them having sex, and having hitting some poppers, and Amy finding herself sobbing, and it's after recounting these two things in her head that it's like it's the pain, it's that whatever, the poppers making her too dumb to actually kind of dissociate or whatever. She was actually with this woman, with Reese, and just two women together, and that just sort of hit her suddenly of like, I'm actually with this person, not dissociating, not just off in my own headspace, imagining, which I have to say, don't have any desire to be a woman, whatever my fantasies are, but just having that dissociation of always just sort of thinking about stuff, playing out stories, scenarios in your head, and not actually being with a partner is something, I think I can identify with. And this is like, this book's really good at kind of delving into, sexuality and gender, and how messed up and kind of detached from ourselves we can be. This yearning. It's yeah. So Dtrnstn, baby, chapter 4. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Really long, sustained stuff. These big chapters. Yeah, really good. All right. I'm going to leave it there. More videos later.